Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Gamers Choose. Like in last episode we promised, we're going over today's Ghost Recon Future Soldier by Tom Clancy. It's rated M for mature, made by Ubisoft Paris, Ubisoft Red Storm, and Ubisoft Bucharest. This all thrown together today. We're actually going to start going over the different things you can do within the multiplayer. We actually get our hands on the beta from the company. So what we're going to do is we're going to go together through the character. We're going to start building the rifle. It's one of the first things we're going to do. But before we start building the rifles and stuff and show you the good stuff that they put in there, we're going to go over the 3 classes you actually start out with. First class you start out with is Scout. When you're a Scout, it's pretty much that. You have this invisible cloak that can go over you, can disappear. As long as you're not moving, you're disappeared. The second you start firing, moving, or anything else, it's no good to go. After Scout, you've got the Engineers. Now the Engineers have things like shotguns and personal defense weapons. They're a great running class. And then after that you've got your Riflemen. You know, they can take a lot more chest damage. They have upgraded armor that allows you to do that. They have things like light machine guns and assault rifles, you know, like AK-47s and 240 Bravos. But more specifically, this is what you came to look at. We're actually going to go through the Scout class for you because it's the coolest looking one, and we're going to nitpick that primary weapon. And once you get underneath the loadout, go to the primary weapon, it blows it up for you. You get to pick your gun, like the M11011 here, and they blow it out for you. You need all the little pieces. If you've got that, your different camera things for your PlayStations and your Xbox, you can actually do like and blow it apart, pull it apart, pick the weapons apart, kind of like, you know, you're in the movie Iron Man. But today we're using Xbox with a regular controller, so we'll be doing it the other way. On the list, you know, the first thing you got optics. Underneath the optics, they'll give you different options. You start out with a basic sniping scope, and they've got other things like holographic sights, red dots, thermal scopes, and then they got the 12x zoom. Now the trick is you have 2 sights in there, the 12x zoom, which is the custom sight, and then you have the thermal sight. At level 4 you actually have to pick which one you want. You don't get both, you get one or the other. But if you choose the wrong one, decide you don't like it, guess what? You can start yourself back off at level 0 and start again from the beginning. Alright, after optics, then comes the paint. You can actually paint your rifle in many different fashions, different camos, just kind of like you did in the last couple shooter games. After that comes the trigger. Now, the triggers are really, really special, the way they work in this game. I kind of think this was absolute brilliance. The stock trigger you start with fires okay, kind of slow, kind of sluggish, and then they have an upgraded trigger. Now, not only does this upgraded trigger allow you to fire faster in the game, it makes the trigger on your controller more sensitive. Yes, this thing is so sensitive, the vibration of our controller caused us to shoot. That's how sensitive that thing gets. Now after that, you've got the magazine. You know, the magazine gives you different kinds of ammos and different ammo amounts, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all know about how that works. Alright, now the next thing on the list after that, because I'm not going to go through all the ammos, there's just way too many for you, you have the underbarrel attachments. Alright, you got like sights and bipods and lasers and different kind of, you know, different things. Like the bipod is my personal favorite. It allows you, once you get behind cover, you can actually flip out that bipod and set it right there on the cover that you're hiding behind, and it'll keep you perfectly 0 leveled, no breathing scope movement. After the underbarrel attachments comes the side rail. Now the side rails, you know, come things, more things you can attach to the sides of weapons like lasers and flashlights and stuff like that. Now that was just before that was gas systems. It's not allowing us to edit the gas systems on here. They might allow us to do that in a full game, or maybe that's just weapon specific. We don't know yet until the full version comes out. Now after the side rails comes the barrel. Now in this particular weapon system allows you 3 different barrels. Like you start off with your stock barrel. It's somewhere in the middle. They have a longer one that allows you to shoot longer range, and then they got a shorter one that allows you to shoot shorter range, but it's going to decrease your accuracy. Alright, that's pretty simple. After that, last we got is the muzzle. Now the different muzzle attachments, like this one right here, standard, you got flash hiders, flash hider, reduces your flash. You got silencers, you got ones that allow you to control the weapon better, ones that allow you to fire more rapidly and kind of keep the barrel from doing the stacked up effect. Alright, now after this, that's pretty much it for the weapons building. And once we get outside of the rifle, you can do this with the secondary weapon, you can do this with your loadout. Speaking in your loadout, you've got gear. Your gear, more specifically, you can you load out med packs and stuff like that. It's really cool. Then you got grenades. You know, different style grenades, flashbang, smokes, EMP. EMP is another thing that's useful in here. Most of the stuff in your suit is electronic. Somebody launches one of those EMPs, just consider yourself screwed. It's going to do your ability to cloak yourself, your ability to spot things, all your little electronic equipment and sights, screwed. Alright, so that EMP is very useful. Also underneath equipment they have a few cool things. They've got a camera that you post up, and what happens is you're sitting there and you're looking through your HUD and stuff, and you're just like, oh look, there's a red light, highlight of a red guy behind a building. If your friends can see it or that camera can see it, it appears as a red outline of guy behind a building or something. Then they got other things, you know, they got claymores, you know. This is my personal favorite thing they came out with. This is a stun gun claymore. Yes, nothing needs to be said about that. Yes, that is completely BAMF. Alright, anyways, moving on, you know, you got augmented camo. What that allows you to do is, as the scout class, it allows you to move farther camouflaged. So, normally you just do the tiniest movement, your camouflage turns off, and you're kind of screwed. This allows you to move a little bit with your camo. And then they got the med pack. The med pack basically allows you, you know, heal yourself, revive others faster, revive yourself. That could be really useful, seeing if you're pulling the scout class and you're kind of like off in a corner by yourself doing the whole sniper thing. Trust me, I know how we work on the camper too. Anyways, moving on out of here. After primary weapons, you know, we got the secondary weapons. You know, it's pretty standard, pistols and stuff like that. But they added in something different. Tasers. Yes, they have tasers. They're incredibly short range. I mean, like, really, really short range. You thought shotguns had short range? No, these tasers are like you have to be right next to them to use them. Anyways, moving on throughout the other secondaries, you know, you got rapid fire machine pistols, and this right here is an interesting little idea. This is a flashbang gun. They call it the BLD-3 flash bulb. It's basically a surefire. For those of you who know what that is, it's a really bright light. You shine in their eyeballs and disorientates them momentarily. Going through, you know, then you got the MK40GL, which is, you know, a small submachine gun, just a little bit larger than a handgun, but it's not quite a rifle yet. Keep going through as you unlock, you know, a 203 version of it where it shoots grenades that EMP things out. So you can just EMP the other guys, shut down all their scouts and stuff. Continuing on, you got a smoke launcher. You launch smoke grenades, you know, use your thermal sight, look through, ping, 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 ping. Just keep going. And then you keep on, and then you got, you know, pistols and stuff. The stuff that everybody knows how to use. Whew. Anyways, continuing on. After all of that, we've done our grenades. Then they have this nice, neat feature. When you're done building your gun, you can go to a firing range to test it all out before you try it in live play. Now, in this firing range, there's 4 different ranges you can go to. There's like 30, 60, 90, and then there's one of them that's really, really close to you. This is right here. This is 15 to 30 meters out. And as you can see, if you watch as he stands still long enough, he's using that scout class. There he goes. He disappears. Alright? You can also see that while sighting in. Now the trick is you have the normal sight in, and then you've got scoped in. Now that exists for every single weapons class. When you hit the left trigger to scope in, it just kind of pulls the zoom closer to you. When you actually want to go to first person, you're going to have to tap that right thumbstick. And it'll zoom you all the way in and bing. Now if you sit there long enough, you'll notice in your scope view, you actually watch yourself disappear, so you know when you're completely invisible. Also notice in this game you will have the ability to use cover. Cover, 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 cover. Believe me, figure out how to use that in the beginning of the game. I started playing and starting to get whooped and whooped and whooped and whooped and whooped and losing. Then I was like, oh, yeah, you have to use and abuse cover in this game. Yet cover actually counts in this game. If you get hooked up against cover, get down, and then your guy won't pop his head over the cover until you start aiming in. It's very useful. It saves your butt on many occasions. You know, as I said, he's going to roll through all his different things here. You know, he's got his handguns, his sniper rifles going invisible. As you can see, when he starts firing, he comes right back alive again. Alright, and then I believe that's it for our weapon creations and firing range. Now we're going to give you a little sneak preview on the online gameplay. This right here, we're going to join our game type. Obviously, you know, we only have 2 maps, very limited selection because this is a very temporary server. So
Yeah, right here.
Splits it down. Oh, look at that. We're already in a game. And whatever they say, I'm sorry, guess what? These guys actually playing right now. These are all GameStop employees, though, so we don't have our little 12-year-old buggers, for those of you who know what we're talking about. This is the greatest interactive menu ever. It shows you the controller. Hit the button. It'll tell you what it does. That made me learn the controls that fast, even though they really weren't that hard to pick up because we know most of our average first-person shooters. Alright, so we're going to give you a couple minutes of gameplay, and we'll see you next episode. Let us know what you want.
Multiple objectives in the area are your priority.
Right side, yeah, there.
See, here he is. He's using that cover where this game actually allows you to hold in the button and it will jump you over things and run you to the next piece of cover. This is what I was talking about, like you have to abuse your cover. Now if you notice, your guys will highlight themselves in green, and the enemies that are visible or hiding behind something will do that same concept, but they'll highlight themselves in red. I know the screen really sucks right now. I'm sorry, we have kind of a bad camera. It's been picking everything up really funny lately. Our ability to plug into the screen itself gives you a direct link down. Make sure we have complete better graphics. We're going to have a whole better version of this video up there for you for later on, so you can have a better view at everything yourself. More importantly, please do not forget, go pre-order this game. The DLC that comes with it is probably going to be amazing. We don't know what it is yet, but it's probably going to be amazing because that's how it's been in the last couple of games. May 22nd, it is out. Go to your nearest GameStop. Go reserve this. This is going to be an amazing game. I've played it for a good amount of time now, and I'm thoroughly stuck on it. So after watching this right here, you got some real gameplay. You got to see all about the creating the weapons and stuff. This guy has got some leveling up to do because right now I'm at about noob level. I got to get myself up there before the rest of y'all buy this game on May 22nd. So this way I actually stand a chance when you guys start playing. Take it easy. See you next episode.